Hello, Dr. Sanchez and fellow graduate research students. This is Lori Bishop, and this is my graduate research project for compensation and benefits. Project outline. The project will include an introduction, company overview, the business development challenge, comprehensive analysis, students' perspective, recommendations and implementation, and a conclusion. Introduction. The purpose of this project is to research sales compensation plan design, best practices, and sales motivation theory to support a recommendation for design improvements within the organization's sales compensation program. For this project, this research student chose to focus specifically on recommending changes to the business development compensation plan. The company selected for the project is Publishing Concepts, this research student's current organization. Hypothesis statement. Publishing Concepts is a privately owned directory services company with corporate offices in Dallas, Texas. PCI has more than doubled in size in the past 6 years and now enjoys full market share due to the purchase of Harris Connect, PCI's only direct competitor. After year-over-year growth for the past 5 years, PCI has experienced a decline in sales growth. This study will specifically target the business development associates who generates sales leads for account managers. By researching sales strategy, cost of sales, and salesperson motivation theories, this student may recommend specific changes to address employee engagement, retention, and hiring challenges. Company overview. In 2021, Publishing Concepts will celebrate 100 years in partnership with colleges, universities, fraternities, sororities, high schools, associations, and service organizations. PCI offers membership data management services such as personal profile updates, dues and donation collection, and revenue from the sale of affinity merchandise. PCI's annual revenue of $48 million in 2019 was an all-time high. Since its inception, PCI has shared over $69 million with colleges and universities in support of their institutional goals. The sales function within PCI is the most critical department within the organization. All sales begin with the business development role. Methodology. This research student utilized qualitative data collection methods, employing literature review, interviews with PCI sales and business development associates, and additional studies to gain insight into sales compensation best practices and challenges. This research student also reviewed sales compensation surveys in addition to reviewing the current compensation plans for business development employees. Company history. In 1921, Rockwell Clancy founded the nation's first alumni directory publisher, the Rockwell Clancy Company. Generations of Clancys have led the company that has now become PCI, each staying true to a single goal, not to be the biggest, but to be the best. These ideals formed the not the big company culture that the associates describe in this video.
My name is Rodney Fisher, and I'm an account executive at PCI. So I've been at PCI for about 9 years. I actually came here because I was laid off at a bigger company. Me and my family had to go through some changes, from losing a house, losing cars. I took this as an entry-level job to really get things back on track and get back on my feet. When I first started, I met Drew Clancy, our president here. First time I've ever met the president of any company I work for. He said something to me that always stuck with me. You don't wait to be a leader, you just lead anyway. I've never had a president, CEO, executive ever speak to me one-on-one and encourage me to be a leader within the company. So that really was empowering for me. And I knew then exactly what I wanted to do here at PCI. Keeping in mind what Drew told me, I saw an opportunity right away. I saw there was a shift that really nobody wanted. It was nights and weekends. but I saw it as a way for me to show I could be a leader and I could show exactly what I can do here. So I started as an entry-level position here at PCI, answering phones, but today, now I'm an account executive, and I'm on the front lines, being the face of PCI, talking to clients and getting them to do business. And that's all because Drew told me to be a leader right away. He gave me the confidence I needed to really step out there and challenge myself. So for me, since PCI has been a place that's focused on the whole picture of the whole person, like me, that's what makes it not the big company.
In 2015, PCI purchased the big company, Harris Connect. Harris was originally founded in 1963 by Bernard C. Harris, former friend and original PCI business partner to R.F. Clancy. The two parted ways and became fierce competitors until Harris Connect experienced financial difficulties in 2014. As former rivals, the acquisition is still challenging for PCI, whose entire identity was based on beating Harris and never becoming the big company. PCI's company values are very important in relationship to addressing the current compensation challenges. The goal is to act with integrity, and the company is very focused on establishing trust as the basis of all relationships. The values of pursue excellence purposefully, unlock human potential, act with integrity, innovate a culture of relationships and fun, and lead with the servant's heart are at the core of PCI's culture. Anchoring the recommendations to make compensation changes in the values is a great way to get executive buy-in. Company overview. The strategic plan. Grow to $75 million in revenue with 9% profit, increase on-time product delivery to 90%, increase the Net Promoter Score from 43 to 60, and grow headcount from 375 associates to 535 associates, with sales growth from $48 million a year to $75 million a year. The importance of sales, strength, and performance is more important than ever. The sales organization structure is relatively flat. It's a small team of 10 individuals who are divided into two groups: business development and sales account executives. Cost of sales for PCI. Cost of sales is defined as the cost of base salaries and variable pay, which is commission, bonuses, and other cash incentives for all sales staff. This is divided by sales revenues or bookings. The percentage represents the portion of every dollar earned that is dedicated to compensating your sales force. PCI's current cost of sales is 5.4%. This is well below the industry average of 7.9%. So before we celebrate, note that a below average cost of sales may indicate compensation plan issues or uncovered sales territory, leaving money on the table. The sales compensation challenge. Sales compensation is a critical issue impacting many companies. Companies spend a lot of time reviewing and changing sales compensation plans, trying new formulas and approaches with little impact on sales performance. The issue is further impacted by the fact that many companies use the same techniques for sales positions as they do for non-sales positions. Research shows that sales compensation requires a more retrospective approach. Ideally, companies would work backwards to identify the mix of fixed versus variable pay components. The sales revolution. Since the beginning of the century, sales has experienced a dramatic evolution in the role of a salesperson. Sales positions now include more business development, consultation, and technical skills required for new sales technologies that support improvements in sales processes. The emergence of big data has also changed the way salespeople operate and the landscape they operate within. There are far more inside sales roles versus traditional field sales roles, and the emergence of sales teams is growing. The demographics of the sales workforce is changing dramatically, with prior generations now reaching retirement age. In 2020, over 50% of the workforce will be millennials. Studies have shown that millennials are motivated differently than other generations. Therefore, understanding sales motivation will require even more research. Three major sales motivation theories: the expectancy theory, the attribution theory, and the self-determination theory. Expectancy theory suggests that motivation is driven by three variables: expectancy, which is effort, to performance relationship; instrumentality, which is performance to reward relationship; and valence, which is rewards to performance goals relationship. Attribution theory is when people make attributions about themselves and others to explain success or failure in performance. Research suggests that the application of this motivation theory contributes to the desire to work smarter. Self-determination is a theory based on the assumption that people have an innate tendency for growth, integration, and self-development. The theory also asserts that social environments either facilitate and promote growth and integration, or they diminish it. Studies on the drivers of salesperson motivation can be largely grouped into two categories: organizational level variables and individual level variables. Organizational level variables include job-related factors, organizational stress, and sales force control systems. Individual level variables include demographics such as age and gender, personal feelings, and emotions. A strong sales workforce is a crucial part of the U.S. economy. A decade ago, almost 12% of the U.S. total workforce was employed in full-time sales occupations. This has now dropped to just under 11%. Motivating a sales force requires the right techniques, and compensation is the most important reward used to motivate salespeople. A sales force expects the pay for the job they perform. The key to this statement is for the job they perform. Clarifying the roles and responsibilities as it relates to a salesperson's impact on the sale is critical in plan design and perceptions of fairness. How to create a sales comp plan. Step 1, set the pay level. Working retrospectively to determine the pay level with defined total cash is crucial for attracting and retaining sales talent. Step 2, balance salary and incentives. The proportion of earnings from salary and from incentives determines the riskiness of the plan. The right balance differs by industry and is often based on the degree of certainty a salesperson's efforts will directly influence sales. Step 3, design the plan. Sound metrics are key. Many companies supplement salary and commissions with bonuses based on exceeding quotas or reaching other goals. Caps on earnings limit the pay of top performers and flatten the payout curve. Accelerators or overachievement commissions ramp up the pay of top performers and create a progressive structure. Step 4, choose payout periods. Companies can set quotas and bonus structures to cover periods ranging from a week to an entire year. Research shows that shorter pay periods help keep low performers motivated and engaged. Step 5, consider additional elements. Many companies use contests and other non-monetary rewards and recognition programs to motivate performance. The business challenge. The PCI sales organization consists of two roles: business development or lead generation and account executives or salespeople who own the account and close the deals. The roles of more tenured business development associates have expanded from generation and appointment setting to full account management in some cases. This contributes to the strong feelings of internal pay inequity between the two roles. All business development sales staff have complained about low base salary, the impact of the build up of the recoverable draw on motivation, and the cap on the commission structure. The disengagement, low performance, and turnover within the PCI business development team has a direct impact on annual sales goals. Compensation and benefits overview. In addition to base salary, PCI benefits include the following: medical, dental, vision, life insurance, and 401k, free telemedicine, paid vacation, sick, and personal time off, paid holidays, half holidays, and sabbatical leave, in addition to maternity leave and paid paternity leave. Other non-traditional benefits such as medical concierge services, employee assistance and spiritual counsel services, wellness and personal financial health programs, tuition reimbursement, free books and book clubs, and ongoing leading-edge leadership training and personal development. The fixed versus variable pay mix. The question is always, when is base salary better, or when is more commission better? When the industry sales uncertainty is high, more base versus variable is better. When the industry sales uncertainty is low, then more variable versus base pay is better. In this case, this supports more base pay for the business development role. Base versus salary split. What determines base salary? The level of difficulty of the sale, the level of autonomy the salesperson has, and the experience required. What determines base salary? Complexity of sales cycle, influence on buying decisions, inbound versus outbound sales, and whether the role is hunting, farming, or catching. As you can see in the diagram, sales organizations typically have at least 3 to 4 roles. Further complexity is added because the business development role and the account executive role are the only 2 sales roles within PCI's organization. Over time, overlap and changes have impacted and blurred lines of responsibility. This research student interviewed Rex Petrasco, Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing for PCI. When asked what motivates salespeople, Rex shared the following: winning and the opportunity to exceed sales targets in addition to money. A salary, commission, and bonus with no cap on commission. The ability to expand professional skills and working with other professional salespeople on a strong team, along with having the support of everyone within PCI. Working for a company that is stable, honest, and innovative with a supportive culture. Public recognition for contributions to the team and to the company. When asked to explain how business development differs from sales account executives, Rex shared the following: business development has a regular contact with clients to generate solid leads for the account executive. The account executive, or sales in your question, is responsible for taking the lead and moving it to closure, getting the signed contract. Current business development compensation plans. The comp plan components as current consist of a base salary plus a recoverable draw, tiered commission structure, contests, and spiffs. Base salaries vary between $30,000 and $40,000 with little explanation of why. A recoverable draw is offered in the amount of the difference between the base salary and $47,000 a year. There's no market data to support the $47,000 base, and there's no salary structure in place with defined pay levels. In addition, the tiered compensation plan is capped with the same bonus amount for accounts $300,000 or greater, thus leaving lots of dissatisfaction when business development associates achieve accounts that are above $1 million. What do business development associates want? This research student also interviewed Alex Morin, manager of business development, and recently a business development associate. Alex shared what his team wants. The team wants a fair base salary that they can live on with commission or bonuses that represent the impact they have on overall sale. Also, the recoverable draw is demotivating when you make a sale only to have it taken and applied to the draw. The team wants recognition for the value of their contribution to overall contract signings. This research student recommends the following for PCI. Complete market analysis to determine the appropriate pay level, base salary, and total cash compensation for the business development role. Recommend a pay mix that offers a higher base salary versus variable pay. Eliminate the draw and create a commission plan that allows for an additional bonus for accounts over $1 million. An account executive earns 1% of all sales. Commission on $1 million sale is $20,000. The business development associate earns $1,000 on the same account, some having greater influence on the sale than others. The awareness of the difference in the plan payouts has a negative impact on the team's feelings of value to the organization. Addressing the comp plan issue will allow PCI to attract the right talent to drive sales. Improving the talent also positions the business development position to feed the growth in account executive roles. This will allow PCI to cover territory currently uncovered. Corporate impact and analysis. The so what? In the long term, addressing the sales compensation structure and market competitiveness will allow PCI to live the corporate value of act with integrity. In the short term, review of the business development position addresses the most critical role in keeping the sales engine going. Fair and competitive pay is required to retaining top talent and build the CEO's goal of organizational trust. The perception of internal fairness will be improved by clarifying roles and responsibilities between sales and business development. This will also support the new compensation plan recommendations. Attraction and retention of sales talent is crucial for business continuity. Reducing turnover and increasing engagement by addressing the compensation plan issues will support the strategic goals of improving customer satisfaction and increased revenue. Human resources impact. How can HR help PCI build an effective sales compensation plan? After addressing the business development compensation plan, PCI must build an overall sales compensation plan that aligns with the company's strategic goals and objectives. HR must educate leadership on compensation basics and provide specific training on sales compensation. HR must also establish a partnership with sales leadership to ensure the compensation plan is reviewed regularly and opportunities are addressed. Facilitate open communication between sales leadership and sales associates to remove the ambiguity around how compensation plans are developed and administered. HR must be proactive in identifying and planning for the impact of generational transitions within the sales workforce. Conclusion and implications to the workforce. The implications require HR to further analyze qualitative data to determine the impact of the changes within traditional sales roles. Gathering and including insight on individual motivators to tailor compensation plans more to the individual salesperson will also be required. Identifying ways to research the impact of millennials in the sales workforce is also a very important proactive step. Survey sales associates to gain insight into individual motivation and sales plan effectiveness. Start with pay level and a clear understanding of the sales cycle difficulty to determine the right mix of fixed versus variable compensation. Research limitations. This research student found there was very little research that truly indicated triggers of sales motivation. Millennials are increasingly impacting the workforce, creating a greater need for research to determine the impact of monetary and non-monetary rewards. Industry pay practices in sales compensation are also similar, and the similarities prevent the data of companies leveraging alternative sales compensation practices. Thank you, and this is the end of my presentation.